It's This Week in Politics as we welcome in the Mayor, Chad Baczynski. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We've been talking nothing but City of Regina politics in our newscast in the last little while, and we start with the mission that two mayors prior to yourself have tried to get done. That's redevelop the rail yards. Dewdney Avenue is finally done. Let's start there. It looks fantastic.
It looks fantastic, and that's the key, right? We needed to get Dewdney Avenue done, and it looks amazing, but the important part for the yards is underground. We needed to get that underground infrastructure completed, so we had the capacity and the capability to actually develop the yard. So now that that's in place, I'm very excited that we moved quickly to prepare ourselves to go out to market and get proposals to get the yards built.
I imagine that the businesses along Dewdney Avenue, the calls to your office are a lot different these days?
The businesses are very excited that it's open, and again, a huge thank you to them. They endured 2 years of very, very tough times through construction, and I'm really glad that now they get to reap the benefits of such a beautiful street.
Now, you got the underground work done. One of the proposals, the highly publicized, easy for me to say, publicized baseball diamond that wants to go in the area. They also want a hockey rink there. There's been a few other ideas floated. Are you tied to any one project?
No, not tied to any one project. That's the entire process that we're going to go through. We're going to go through a negotiated RFP process, leaning heavily on that vision component, because we want a developer to come forward and give those, great ideas for such an important space downtown. And so we want to see what is kind of the art of the possible for this space. What
would you like to see there?
I keep getting asked that question, and
but it's a valid question, right?
It is.
Because it's a key piece of property that so many people have tried to develop.
Yeah, for me, it's really not about me. And actually, interestingly enough, we had a discussion about that, about keeping the politics out of it. So for me, it's actually what is complementary to the businesses there who have went through that construction, and something that'll enhance that space for them. So I'm open to whatever is the best option for the businesses down Dewdney and the overall warehouse district in downtown.
Kind of like Councillor Siglis, who said, "I just want it to be used." Right?
Absolutely.
I
think that's a great way to put it.
This all comes at a time when we're talking and debating about taxes and mill rate increases. So this is another project that won't, in fact, impact this budget cycle, but it will down the line. People are fed up with taxes going up. How do you justify developing this area when it's going to cost a lot of money?
Well, this area, I mean, our investment is in the undergrounds. We're actually looking for those partners or those developers to come forward and do the vertical development and find a balance there. So we're actually not expecting this to cost taxpayers money. That's the key. In fact, we actually have funding from other levels of government to put into, if there's housing development in that there, we can actually supplement that through other grant funding. So the expectation is that that's not going to be a subsidized space. It's something that we want developers to come forward and they find a model that works, that they get revenue not from the city, but from the development that they put on the site.
Last thing we need to touch on is the Wascana View residents were upset with the possible expansion of Prince of Wales Drive. That's years away in possibility, but maybe a comment on that if you could.
Absolutely. This is something that has been on the books for decades, knowing that sometime in the future there's going to need to be some kind of a connection there. What I know is we are very, very early. We are going to start a functional study, which will include engagement with all stakeholders, do that public engagement, talk about safety, talk about sensitive areas, environment concerns. That's the work that needs to happen first. It's a 5 to 15-year horizon we're talking about right now in terms of actually having to have something there. So in the meantime, we're going to do a lot of work to make sure we understand what is the best way to make that connection with the least amount of impact.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.